All right, so I get the questions surrounding Gregg Popovich all of the time. Now, I said this in another video already. There's a literal tornado near me, so just yeah, it's gonna. I'm gonna try to go through this as quick as possible. I just want to get some videos out there before that like hits. So yeah, I'll be okay. But yeah, let's talk about it.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so the question I get all the time is whether or not Gregg Popovich is going to retire. I'll just give you my thoughts on it. And my thoughts are, who knows? I mean, honestly, at this point, though, I will say this. All of the context clues that I've gotten from Gregg Popovich over the last couple years and just how he feels about the team, I will say this. This is the most fun he's had, or at least he's saying this, the most fun he's had as a coach. And one thing about Popovich as well, and we'll read this quote, but one thing about Pop is he always said that his greatest accomplishment or his greatest joy that he gets out of coaching is guys being able to grow and develop. And even when guys leave and they go get paid, that's why he pushed Boban to go get his money. Same thing with Bryn Forbes. That's the joy that he gets out of it. He said that on many occasions over the years. So I think that that's the same thing going into this. So with this whole rebuild, you would assume that Popovich the Great would just want to bounce. Well, he's not like Phil Jackson. Gregg Popovich is more so a teacher, and he enjoys the development process of players. He's not necessarily in it just for the W's necessarily, you know, like, yeah, he want to give the best product he possibly can, you know, for the fans and, you know, amount of money he's making, obviously he should. But at the same time, that's where he finds purpose in coaching, is developing guys and them being able to provide for their families. And he said that many a times. So it kind of puts it up in the air for me when I say whether or not Popovich will stay or leave. It's kind of like, well, he probably would want to stay, and that's where I would lean closer towards. But it's going to be completely up to him. And I think even when he does leave, he's going to be upgraded or promoted, that is, to another position. But Gregg Popovich says here, says coaching kids rather than greats have been exciting in a different way. There are nights when he says to himself, what the H am I doing here? Do I need to do this? Then he goes to practice, sees the kids fired up, and thinks, I wouldn't trade it. So it sounds like Popovich is leaning on staying, but at the same time, he still has these doubts, like, should I be here? And he said this also this season, and we can just end it on this note. He said this season that he feels obligated to help the team. Like, he feels obligated to help these players. And I hope that that's not the driving force. It doesn't sound like it, because he has said that developmental process is what he absolutely loves, but he does feel a sense of responsibility to these kids. And I get it. I mean, his amount of knowledge, he's won championships. There's stuff that Popovich can teach that other coaches just wouldn't be able to, right? It's just a complete different thing. And you can even tell with his demeanor and the way that he approaches these players now versus where he used to be as a coach. It makes sense that he will be more lenient, that he will be more chill, that he will be more open to his personnel. It's just him taking more of a fatherly teaching, type role. So I don't know. It's up in the air. At this point, I've always said this. I don't care, like, whether or not Popovich stays or leaves. I really don't care, as long as it's 150% his decision. Like, if he wanted to stay another decade, I'm with it, right? Popovich deserves that. And you're not going to get a better, and that's the thing that I think people mix up sometimes. They're like, oh, we need a new face. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I don't think you're going to get a better coach than Gregg Popovich. No matter who it is, no matter how fresh they are with their new ideas, you're not going to get a better coach than Gregg Popovich. So with that being, even through this rebuild, right? With that being said, I'm completely okay with Popovich staying. The only issue I've had with Popovich is, and I've always had this issue, is that sometimes he will prioritize veterans over the younger players, which a lot of times don't make a lot of sense. But I'll tell you this right now: if Wemby comes, it doesn't matter. Any player that we draft this upcoming season, because more than likely we're going to get a top 3 to top 5 pick, they're going to start. Like, I don't see any scenario in which they don't. You look at Jeremy Sohan being a pretty high pick. Popovich made sure he played him. So I see no even Devin Vassell, right? I see no reason for a lottery pick not to play. So they'll still play. It's just a matter of like when you're looking at guys like Blake Wesley and Malachi Branham, I'm still not over Josh Richardson getting more minutes than Malachi Branham. Didn't make a lot of sense to me, but hey, we got quite a few assets for it. But anyways, I'll give it to you guys later, man. You want to support the channel? ClanTheMerchFan.com is right here. Link in the description, or become a Patreon YouTube member. Only $2 a month. Thanks, guys, for all the love, and peace.